beat the Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton. Boom! Woo! And this is show number 135. Welcome to Hate Week. Rivalry Week is now upon us here at the 14th week of the season.
The finale of the college football season traditionally every year since me and you have been on God's green earth. It's been Georgia Tech, and just rivalries all across the nation in college football. What makes college football the most special sport in the United States of America and the whole world, Clark, is the games that we get to see this week. And, of course, here in the state of Georgia, it's clean, old-fashioned hate, a Series A rivalry that Georgia dominates, Clark. Hadn't been particularly close in many years, and one that you forget that how sickening it is if you lose to these guys over there in Atlanta, man, because you rarely get to experience that these days. So, I mean, a big game, a ranked matchup this year that we have, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. Lost some luster because Tech didn't do their part last Saturday, but still, nonetheless, huge game, different game, second year in a row on Black Friday, but now at a neutral site.
Weird stuff.
Very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, we got number 4 Georgia versus number 23 Georgia Tech. 3:30 ABC this Friday afternoon in the Benz. Really weird atmosphere. It's going to be really interesting going to this game, traveling to this game. DAWGS are looking for its 8th 11-win season since Kirby Smart took over the helm at the University of Georgia. Isn't that something?
I love it, man. Just blessed. Say it every episode, but can't say it enough. We're blessed as fans, man, to have 8 under Kirby Smart in the 9 years he's been coaching here.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
Georgia Tech sold their last home game too for $10 million. Isn't that crazy? $10 million was the official number. And yes, I know that helps them with their NIL stuff. But man, of course they would do that.
Oh, yeah.
They would sell out their biggest potential home game of the entire year to go play, 5 miles down the road in the Benz and in technically a neutral site.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yes, unbelievable that they have done that. But that's the name of the game now, I guess, especially programs like Tech, is to get as much money as you can to spend towards NIL. You're seeing Auburn doing that now. I think they're going to host Baylor next year in Atlanta. So a lot of teams are doing it, and I think it's just going to be one of those trends you hate to see, because I think when you do these type of things, not that Tech just had a great environment, but still, it's still a college campus, Clark, that you go to, and that's what makes these games special, is when they're played on campuses. So I think the more games that you can play on college campuses, the better. But of course, I think it's going to take an exact opposite turn of that as years progress with stuff like this, man, and just the money that's involved and the big payouts that these ADs are going to set up for their schools to play in these games, right? So not only just the kickoff games, but giving up home games to do this as well. So, I hope this isn't something that becomes an annual thing. I know Georgia will not sell out and take away a game between the hedges against Tech to play in Atlanta, but I wonder if every other year we'll be in the Benz now with this. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to keep your eyes on, man, but gonna be, like you said, a weird feeling, Clark, because when you go to the games in the Benz, you're either thinking, SEC championship first, right? Mm-hmm. Or a Peach Bowl or a Chick-fil-A kickoff game that we've done a couple times, the Labor Day weekend. So definitely don't think about Georgia playing Georgia Tech. Can't wait to see what the crowd is. I think the course is going to be unanimous red and black all over the place, man. But it's like, did the whole stadium get a lot of tickets? Or many times when Tech has played in Mercedes-Benz before, man, you'd see they have the old tarp over the upper level there. But also one thing I want to say about Kirby Smart's 10th year. This is his 10th year, right? So, and I don't count, I said 9 years earlier, but I don't count the COVID year because he didn't even play 10 games that year.
Right. 11-win season, yeah.
Yeah.
In 2020, I think they played right at 10. Yeah, we're 8-2.
Yeah, it was 10. It was right at 10. Still don't count. It wasn't a full 12 game, then a bowl game or postseason. So
right.
Anyway.
Well, on this episode, we're going to be talking about the Invesco QQQ Atlanta Gridiron Classic.
Does that just get you juice, Clark?
No.
You say the Invesco Q. How about does it sound better when you say the Invesco Triple Q Atlanta Gridiron Classic?
Neither sound good.
Because the Invesco QQQ, when you get to the QQQ, it really kills momentum of the game. When you have to go at 3 Qs. What does the 3 Qs stand for?
I don't know.
One's got to be quality.
Ooh, control. No, not control.
That would be a C. That would be C.
Quality.
Give me a C, Alex. That would be
Quickness.
a-
Quickness and what's another good Q word? Queen. I don't know. We need an update.
Queen, I don't know what that is.
QQQ and Invesco QQQ stands for. Anyway, this is clean old fashioned hate. That's what we're going to always refer to it as. Anybody that refers to it something other than clean old fashioned hate, they're just off their rocker. Don't listen to them.
That's right.
Anyway, we're going to go through some history of Georgia Tech. We're going to talk about this matchup specifically, offense, defense, what we have to do to win this game.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch, and I mean a ton of Week 14 games. Once again, rivalry week, a lot of great matchups all across the nation. We've got a lot of games to pick, so that will be towards the end. And at the very end of the episode, we've got our score predictions.
I love it, man. I love it.
So stick around.
I'm excited, Clark. Into the finale of the regular season right here with Georgia playing hot, and a lot of stuff after Friday and Saturday take place to sort out the whole landscape of college football.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Georgia Tech. Adam, every single time I go by Georgia Tech's campus on I-85, headed to the airport,
Yeah.
what do?
You give them a salute.
Yeah.
Not the a patriotic salute,
right?
Like an honorary, like a salute of honor, a respectful salute.
Yeah,
the
don't
other
do
salute,
that.
The other salute, I mean,
The one finger wave.
The one finger wave every time that Clark goes through there, and I love how you do it too. That a pedestrian doesn't get caught up in the crossfire and friendly fire, right? That you're able where nobody's making eye contact with you in the car, the vehicle beside you, where you don't think you're implementing some road rage, right? It's actually that and everybody knows that's in the vehicle with you. It is directed towards the Georgia Institute of Technology.
Right, and I always hide it just below the window so nobody can see it, as you were mentioning. And I don't do it if there's a car passing beside me, because you folks that have been out in Atlanta and have driven out there, you know as well as I do, there's some crazy people out there that you don't want to truffle with. And truffle,
that's right.
And
that's
so,
right. You never know what people do these days on the roadside.
So I just make sure when I give them my one finger wave as I pass by that stupid campus, I keep it out of eyesight to the other people. But anyway, it just makes them feel better.
I love it.
As Jeff Dantzler says, this is the enemy, Adam. And that they are. I think a lot of times we as Georgia fans kind of forget how much we hate Tech, and because we're their big brother, and they've got a lot of little brother energy. Let's just be honest. They wish they could be us in terms of athletics.
Oh, absolutely.
All around, I
think so. Absolutely. All the way around, man. I mean, I think you have a better baseball and basketball program than them currently right now. Mm-hmm. And just beat them on the hardwood a couple of weeks ago. So, I agree with that completely, Clark. So you look at it, man, and I think you alluded to it too. You forget how much you have a disdain for Georgia Tech until you lose to them, I feel like, because you're so focused on SEC, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, and then even Clemson more so, because they're usually just the ones that I don't know. You just kind of key towards more. You might have more encounters with those type of fans and everything. But with Tech, to me, it's when you lose to them is when it's just like a punch in the gut, man. I'll never forget 2008 was a game where, of course, that was just the end of the regular season of a very disappointing year. That you were preseason ranked number 1, coming off the high of getting hot, and then the end of 2007, the blackout, the Sugar Bowl win over Hawaii, just all around just disappointing season. And you ended it by losing to first-year head coach Paul Johnson, running the triple option on it that you couldn't stop, 45-42 in the rain in Sanford Stadium, man. So that, and then 14 and 16 too, and it just those two games in Sanford were just. I mean, all three of those games were in Sanford, and they just took the wind out of your sails. You just couldn't. It just was so just. It was just left a bitter taste in your mouth, more so I feel like than losses did to during that time frame to Auburn, Tennessee, or even though they had a bitter taste, it was just more of a sour taste when it was Tech there at the end of the year. And but one thing, man, is they haven't done it. They have not beat Georgia outside of Athens since 1999, Clark.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I mean, Mark Richt came in, God bless Coach Richt, and made Bobby Dodd Stadium, Mark Richt Field at Bobby Dodd Stadium. So it's not historic Grant Field. It's Mark Richt Field at Bobby Dodd Stadium.
I like Mark Richt Field at Sanford Stadium Junior.
Yeah, that's either way you want to look at it. So, I mean, Richt came in there and really flipped the series around. That was one reason why Jim Donnan got fired, was because he lost 3 consecutive games to Georgia Tech. I believe they lost in 2099 and 98. So, that's one thing that you can't do as a Georgia head coach is consistently lose to Georgia Tech. And Rick turned the tide on that. Kirby lost his first one and hadn't looked back since, man. So hopefully add another tally, another number up on the win column there.
Absolutely. These two teams separated by about 70 miles. Georgia lopsided in this series. 72 wins, 39 losses, and 5 ties all time. If you ask a Tech fan, they might tell you Tech has won 41 times, not 39, as Georgia claims. I don't know. There's a mix-up. Tech claims 2 more wins. So I don't know how that works. I don't know why they claim them. But anyway, that's the series standing right now. 72, 39, and 5. Dogs right now are on a 7-game win streak, looking for their 8th
how about that?
Straight. Yep, Tech won 8 straight from 1949 and 1956. That is the series record right there, 8 straight in that time frame. Georgia has come close 2 other times, 1991 and 1997. They won 7 straight. And then 2001 to 2007, they won 7 straight. So
that's right.
Georgia's never beaten Tech 8 straight times, and we have a real opportunity this Friday to do that.
Yeah, I think a great opportunity to do that, Clark. So, yeah, I mean, just another thing where we've talked about with – now we're getting to in the Kirby Smart area where all these rivals, you're looking at 8-9 straight wins, man, against them. Right? And then what? How many was that against Florida and Jacksonville this last year?
5th.
Yeah, 5th, and then 8 or 9 against Auburn or how many ever. And you just back years ago, a decade ago, you didn't think that was even possible. I wouldn't have believed you. You would have had to just pinch me to believe that you're talking about the win streaks we have, not only just against one of our main rivals, Clark, but all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Right.
All of them. I mean, yes, I know Alabama, but I'm talking about the traditional, the big ones that have been traditional Georgia annual rivals every year is, you got win streaks against them, man. And he's also 2-0 against Clemson. You add them in there. I do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy to think, and I think you're going to add to it Friday.
Right. Georgia is 20-4 this century against Tech. Just to put things in perspective and to talk about how lopsided this rivalry has been these past 2.5 decades. 20-4, man. And Georgia, as you kind of alluded to, hasn't even lost outside the state. Wait, hold up. Let me rephrase that. Hold up. No, I didn't mean that.
Atlanta is a different state.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Georgia has not lost in Atlanta this century either.
No,
not a single time.
They have not.
Neutral field or Bobby Dodd or whatever.
And honestly, they shouldn't have lost in '99. The tail end of the last century, man. That was the Jasper Saints ghost fumble, right? So, I mean, and then you alluded to it that Georgia's only lost 4 games this whole century, and one of them was in 2000 to begin the century. And then after that, we talked about 08, 14, 16. And those 3 were in Athens.
Right.
All 4 of them were in Athens. So,
Yep.
That's it.
So last year, let's talk about that matchup a little bit. That was a fun one. 44-42 thriller and 8 overtimes. I didn't realize this. That was the second longest game in FBS history. I guess,
it now?
Right behind the LSU A&M game that was like 74-72. You remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that, and I remember laying in my bed and watching that one. But that was old Ed Orgeron and Jimbo.
Wow.
That one. But, last year, man, was you didn't see it coming. At least I didn't see it coming. I thought, Georgia would win. Maybe not just blow them out, but win in regulation. Definitely didn't see them getting in the hole that they did, but it was fun watching them come back. Very just cold night. I mean, we got used to playing on a Friday night. The first time we've seen that, right? So it was Black Friday last year, of course, too. And then being able to come out of the hole and then just go back and forth in overtime was just stressful. And you're sitting there thinking, you already at the time were clinched going to Atlanta for the SEC championship, but you just the whole time thinking, man, what a damper this would be going to Atlanta next week after losing Georgia Tech. Just the thought of that was just sickening, man.
Well, and also it could have very well put us out of the playoffs.
Absolutely.
I mean, at that point, it had to have been you win and get in the SEC championship situation. But thankfully, we kind of bought ourselves a mulligan by beating Tech in 8 overtimes. In case we lost to Texas, of course we didn't. We won and we got the bye and everything. So, another thing that I find really interesting about last year's matchup with Georgia Tech outgained us.
Yeah.
563 yards to Georgia's 405. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Haynes King had a heck of a game, man. I mean, he's a competitor. He is a tough as nails, has been all year this year, but definitely last year in that game. Buster Faulkner, former Georgia assistant coach during the national championship runs, man, had a great game plan against Georgia and Glenn Schumann's defense, right? And Kirby. And so they were able to move the ball effectively last year, and really they did it by keeping the ball on the ground and ran right through. And a lot of it was Haynes King up the middle. Between the tackles and really just gashed us. I mean, that's all there was.
It was demoralizing.
Oh,
sure
yeah.
enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it had some good some good eye candy that we bid on and other things, man. And I thought Buster Faulkner called a heck of a game last year in Athens, man.
I expect them to be prepared and ready the same way they were last year. Brent Key, Georgia Tech's head coach, 3rd year. You know, Adam, I'm convinced that Brent Key has a dartboard in his bedroom, and on it there is a picture of Kirby Smart, and he wakes up every single day and he throws darts at it. He hates the University of Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can tell there's a respect between Kirby Smart and Brent Key for what they do, but a hatred for each other's programs, right? And that's how I want it to be. I want the Tech coach to hate Georgia, and I want the Georgia coach to hate Tech. And that's the unique thing about them is, and I don't know who else in major college football has alums leading the two programs in a rivalry game like this, right? So, both of them have lived it. They grew up in it as college players for the respected teams that they coach now. And that's what makes it just such a unique sport, and that not a lot of people and sports fans of that don't get into college football can really understand.
Exactly.
And I love it. I love that Key hates Georgia. I love watching him just stand just dazed at the side, at midfield. Just couldn't believe they lost last year, right? And one thing he does is he gets his team up to play for Georgia, even as an interim in 22 during the national championship year. Clark, I felt like they had a respect to show, and then when they were, he just took over mid-season or later in the season, and Georgia had one of their best teams ever. Went on to go 15-0 and win a national championship, but I thought he had a decent game plan coming into that one. In 23, they moved the ball well on us, man. That was kind of a game that was very cold in Atlanta. I'll never forget that night. That it was just Georgia won, and won in regulation, but you just weren't. I mean, you were glad to beat Tech. Do you remember the feeling you had that night, even in 23 in Atlanta? It's just couldn't play better. But they had a good game plan. Of course, last year they took us into overtime in Athens, man. So those are the 3 games that Key has coached against Smart, and I thought, I'll say it, 3 respectable showings for Georgia Tech in those games.
Yeah. I just want you to know, if you're a Georgia fan, Brent Key is absolutely obsessed with you. He's obsessed with Georgia. He's obsessed with the red and black. He can't stop thinking about you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I think he has made it his life's mission to beat the University of Georgia. And, I mean, he might get there one day, but I don't think it's going to be this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt in the offseason, even probably taking periods out of practice during the season this year, focusing on Georgia. Georgia's doing the same thing with Georgia Tech. I mean, especially when they were running the triple option with Paul Johnson and Kirby's early years, right? So, but still, these games are so important. You slash out time weeks before, months before these games, and you're already kind of implementing some stuff and some game planning. Both sides are, but definitely Brent Key would love nothing more, man. And I'd love nothing more this year, though. Just go and make a statement. Don't ever give them any hope. Let them just know from opening kick, man, that there's just a talent gap here. There's a program gap.
Right.
There's a program gap. There's a coaching staff gap. And
a culture gap.
And a culture gap, absolutely. So, I mean, that last year was just really what's the best chance they had. So,
and they missed.
And I'd love it, man. I mean, for a season that has been for them magical in a sense of up until last week, Clark, was they were riding high with just one loss in Raleigh to NC State. And last week they got their hearts ripped out of their chest. Chance to clinch a appearance in the ACC championship for the first time in I don't know how long, 2014 maybe.
And probably would have bought them a ticket to the college football playoff too.
Yeah,
win or lose,
definitely if you win. Yeah. I mean, definitely if they would have won it, and it's not like they had a juggernaut team up against it. So they still got a chance, but now they don't control their own destiny. Yeah. So I mean, it definitely had to just be a heartbreaker for them, man. Hopefully, you just pour salt in an open wound.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do.
Last thing, and then we'll move on here. But everybody talks about the Brent Key sort of hatred towards Georgia. I want to tell you something. Kirby Smart hates Georgia Tech, and there's a lot of there's been a lot of different videos made about that specific speech. Where Kirby, he uses a lot of vulgar language. It's his most famous one, I think.
Yeah.
It was actually before most people assume that was with the 2023 National Championship game. But I'm here to tell you it was the Georgia Tech game in 2016. And I think I'm one of two people that have the actual video to that exact speech.
I can't believe you admitted you had it.
Yeah.
Man. That's good.
I'm willing to show people if you want to come see it. I'm not going to send it
Not
out.
gonna
I'm
post it
definitely
on
not going to
social
post it
media.
or leak it.
Oh, that would definitely have some clicks there.
Oh, we'd get 5 million views. I promise.
But it's not worth that for that. Just to be able to tuck that one away, man. Just to have that for.
But if you want to see it, I mean, come. I'll show it to you. I don't mind. It's crazy though. I mean, he hates Georgia Tech. I remember one time too. We were at practice. This was, I believe, the game before. This was the 2017 game, right before Georgia Tech. Right after practice, the team's huddled up, and he very loudly, without the microphone, a lot of people know that he holds a microphone during practice now. He did this without the mic. You could hear him from, North Campus at the Chapel Bell if you really listen. He screamed at the top of his lungs, "I hate these MFers." And I don't know, just something boiled up inside of me, and I wanted to run through a brick wall.
Oh, yeah. And you said, what year was that? 16?
That was 17.
Oh, that was 17.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was a year after.
Yeah, the speech you allude to, of course, you go out there and you lose that game. So
Right.
Kirby starts 0-1 against Tech. But one of my all-time favorite Georgia Tech games, man, was 17 in Atlanta. It was a fun afternoon because, obviously – you had the year that 17 was. It was special all the way. And you were putting a bow on the end of the regular season, but you had that excitement of a rematch against Auburn the following week in the SEC Championship. And I remember, though, you wanted to beat Tech and get them back from that year. And that's the first time we had played. And I think Kirby coached against Paul Johnson 3 times. I think Johnson's last year was 18.
Right.
And I love, man, when we face that flex bone offense, that's the first time I've seen a defense play where they stack their middle linebackers.
It's like a 3-3 look.
And just have them one behind the other with the assignment football. One plays the quarterback, one plays the pitch man, or either gets in the gap for the B back man. So I mean, just shut them down that day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that killed to me that day, and killed the flex bone offense.
Just across America, across the board.
America. I mean, yes, you still have some service academies. Jeff Monken and Army a few years ago ran it to success. But as far as for Paul Johnson's success, that killed it right there.
I agree.
In my opinion, that day in 2017. And I love nothing more than watching a defense play successful football against a flex bone like
Absolutely.
that. Because that's what people with a flex bone offense and what Paul Johnson feasted on had success was that he knew he wasn't going to get the 5-star recruits. But he knew if he had a disciplined football team and played good assignment offense right there, that he would be able to get people with the eye candy that was the flex bone, man, and have some explosive plays of defense missing assignments. But when he ran up against a disciplined defense where they just out-talented, out-athlete, his offense, man, was a thing of beauty to watch, and that's what happened in 2017. I loved it. One of my favorite memories.
That was a good one. 21 was also amazing, too, because that was the first time in which we had seen a perfect 12-0 football season.
Yeah, exactly.
You and I did.
Great point,
Yeah.
Clark. I remember just excitement. We're about to go 12-0. This is it. And then that was also the game where you just found out. I mean, you already knew, but just confirmed to me that Brock Bowers was a unicorn.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, everybody knows the play we're alluding to with that touchdown run he had where he just split the middle of the defense and DBs couldn't even run him down. It was just like a gazelle. I mean, you don't see a tight end do what he did on that play. And, I mean, he made some more impressive runs after that later in his career, but that was, to me, the first one that stuck out. Like, you knew it was good, but then you were like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
What was that?
For real.
What was that? I mean, honestly, it felt like something that people were saying in 1980 when they saw Herschel Walker do some of the stuff. That it's kind of once-in-a-generation type stuff that you tell your kids, man, because you're not going to see that type of talent.
Yeah. He was an animal.
So
Miss Brock Bowers. Wish we could have him this year. Of course, we got some great talent.
we got a great tight end
tight
room too, man. I mean, you're never going to replace 19, but we got some dang good ones
For
in there.
sure. All right, let's talk about this
That will
year's
feast.
Yes, let's talk about this year's Georgia Tech team. They are 9-2.
Okay.
Georgia Tech has played just one team that's currently ranked this year. Right now, it was Pittsburgh.
There we go.
And what happened? They lost.
Yeah.
They lost that game
home.
At home. one of the biggest games, according to them, in the past, I don't know, 5
Well, it
years,
had
at
to
least
be,
decade,
man.
maybe.
When's the last time they went to the ACC championship? 14?
I believe so, yeah. That sounds right. Or maybe 15. 16, 17. I think they went one time.
Did they
within
go
that
in 16 or 17?
I don't know.
Surely not.
Maybe not
They
17.
might have in 16.
I think
Well,
they
they
did.
went one of the years they beat us in Athens in 14 or
Right.
16. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah. First time in over a decade they were going to go back, I feel like, or 9 years or so.
Huge game against Pittsburgh. Yeah, they dropped it last week. They've gone on the road to Colorado, won there. They beat Gardner-Webb, an FCS team. They beat Clemson. Wow. Temple. At Wake Forest. I really do think at Wake Forest might be their best win thus far. Virginia Tech at home. They went on the road, played Duke, beat them. They beat Syracuse at home and at Boston College.
Yeah, Syracuse, and then a resilient comeback win in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts against a one-win Boston College team.
Yeah, 1-10.
Yeah, 1-10 now, currently, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wild. So I was like, man, the quality of opponents that they've actually beaten this year, not great. I mean, Colorado's bad. Clemson is really bad for what they are. Let's see. Wake Forest, I think, is 8-3. Syracuse is falling off a map. Boston College is horrible.
Yeah.
Duke and Virginia Tech are very mid. So what I did was I combined all the records of
They're
the
mid?
yes.
Okay,
they're mid.
yeah, okay.
We're using Gen Z terminology.
All right, okay, all right.
That's what we've
There we
come
go.
to.
There we go.
Anyway,
I like it.
I combined all the records of the teams that Georgia Tech has beaten this year, and the record is overall 42-58. Well below 500.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, what? They avoided Miami, Louisville, who else? And they SMU,
Virginia.
all the top other teams that are in the hunt for ACC berth right now.
Did you say Miami?
Yeah, Miami. So, I mean, and it's not like that's just a scary list of teams that's listed with SMU, Virginia, and Louisville, but that's what we got in the Athletic Coast Conference right now.
Yeah.
The top dogs of the Athletic Coast Conference are them, man. And I love the fact that Rhett Lashley and the Southern Methodist University Mustangs, the Pony Express, is coming in there and could potentially just run the ACC. I know they didn't beat Clemson last year in the title game, but they're looking in their second year to make another ACC championship playoff or berth and then go to the playoffs for a second year.
That's wild.
Unreal, man.
Yeah. Never would have
Pitiful
thought.
conference. Pitiful
Yeah,
conference.
they are,
all the
man.
way
Top
around. I mean,
to
it is a
bottom.
disgrace. Provided some great entertainment on Friday nights this season.
True.
I will give them that.
Yeah, that is true. Tech has lost to a terrible NC State team, and like we mentioned just a second ago, Pittsburgh. So, man, I mean, they're 9-2. I think their record is a little deceiving, but on the same token, in the same whatever, I do think they're still a good football team that could potentially beat the University of Georgia. I don't think it's likely, but we shall see. That's why I play the game.
That's right. But we saw that last year, Clark. We saw it last year, man, and that they definitely can play with Georgia. And you know, they play. They're gonna play. They're gonna be ready to roll Friday
For sure.
just like Georgia will.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about Georgia's offense and Georgia Tech's defense. This is, if you're a Georgia fan, you ought to feel really, really good about
really good.
Gunnar Stockton and company, Mike Bobo this week, Noah Thomas, Nate Frazier, Chauncey, all the guys, all the dudes.
Especially on the ground.
Oh, yeah. We
Feast on the ground.
we shall feast, just like we are about to feast, hopefully, on Thursday.
That's what I was going to say. We might, as Georgia fans, need to kind of not eat as much this Thursday because we're about to absolutely feast on the ground in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Friday afternoon.
I like that. That's good stuff. Georgia Tech.
We get our bellies full for sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
absolutely. Georgia Tech is 95th in FBS in rushing yards allowed. They give up about 167.8 yards per game.
Good.
That's not great. And then they are 103rd in FBS in passing yards allowed, allowing 241 through the air. So if you're Gunner, if you're Mike Bobo, you should feast. I mean,
Yeah, you
truly,
should.
there is no excuse this week. This is a very, very subpar, very pedestrian Georgia Tech defense. I mean, we moved the ball pretty well on them last year, I thought.
Yeah.
At least in the second half and beyond. But, you know, we got to get off to a hot start.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think we will. To me, I think that this offense can easily score over 40 points against this defense, and should. If you don't turn the ball over and play sloppy offensive football, I think you're definitely going to have the ability to do that. And like you alluded to, Clark, there's going to be some guys that have some huge days, man, especially our running backs on the ground. You notice that and really the most I watched Tech was last week against Pitt. And that's something that just stood out. Just sitting on my recliner watching the game there's going to be opportunities to really put up some numbers on offense. So I think that's what you said. It would be nice, be different than what it was last year in Athens, to actually just step on their throat from the beginning. Yeah, and come out, man, like you did against Texas, and really fire on offense and grab a quick lead, get some stops on defense, man, and they're a resilient team too. I joked about the win in Boston College, and they came back against Pitt last week. They definitely play for their coach, and I think are bought in with each other, no doubt, in the sense of what Brent Key has gotten them to play for, man. But my hope is this offense comes out. It's just too much in the trenches. I think our offensive line really has the potential to really control the line of scrimmage, man, whether it's in pass pro or run blocking, that we're going to be able to just eat up yards, have some explosive plays, get up, man, and then just know that this is a different animal. This isn't Pitt or Boston College to try to come back on, right?
Yeah, so this is 100% Tech's biggest challenge.
Absolutely.
Defensively. I mean, they have not faced anyone as close to what they're going to see this Friday in Mercedes-Benz in Georgia. I mean, look, they allow 25.82 points per game. Not great. I mean, it's very average.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
And once again, these numbers come against a very weak schedule. I mean, very weak. They've played just one team who is currently ranked in the top 25, and that's Pittsburgh, and they lost by what? 2-3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
What was it?
Something like that. I'll say they haven't seen an offensive line like this group that's going to be on the field Friday. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to believe for all those people who were really doubting Stacey Searles and this offensive line at the beginning of the year. Now I feel with full confidence saying that this is without a doubt one of the strongest points and units on our team right now. Yeah, it's this offensive line, how it's gelled with these young guys coming in, man. And I think they're going to shine Saturday, and it's going to be something this Tech defensive front has not seen all year.
Yeah. I hope Nate Frazier has the same kind of day as he did in Mercedes-Benz against Clemson. We very well could see a lot of him. I think we ought to expect him. And then Chauncey Bowens, I think he ought to be healthy. I think we'll see Drew Bobo get back into action after, getting rested up last week. We'll see Ernest Green, hopefully, as well, who is, man, he's stepped it up. I know he's been playing banged up all year. Pretty much his whole career he's been playing banged up is what it seems like. But, yeah, I mean, you're right, Adam. This offensive line, we said it going into the season. This is the biggest question mark of this team. If we go 11-1, a lot of that will have to do with our offensive line playing well. If we go, 8-4, that's going to mean our offensive line didn't play well. But it all hinges on this offensive line. And up to this point, man, they have exceeded expectations. So, yes, you're right. Hats off to Stacey Searles.
You got to, man, because last year a lot of question marks out there with him, and when he's done the job that he has this year, and a lot of the guys that he's come in, Clark, and a lot of people want to talk about Sam Pittman's recruits and stuff, and what are we going to do? Our young guys that came in under Stacey Searles and Mike Bobo and this offensive staff. And also, too, man, not only that, you bring in guys like Phil Rauscher from Jacksonville and John Lilly, an old Rick guy, man, and a guy who's been around a lot of football. And you combine them two, what we talked about and heard about in the preseason, man, and you've just seen just the collective group done a great job with this O-line. Love the talent, love the young talent that we have there, too. And there could be some guys coming back, too, that might be a surprise you didn't know you coming back, man.
Perhaps?
Man, I heard that shatter. It's like, that's a DGD
One more thing to add, too, to that, Adam. I don't think a lot of people are talking about this, but the development. That's another thing on the offensive line people were harping about last year. Look at Dontrell Glover. You can't tell me that. I mean, yes, he was already well coached. I know we've kind of talked about that.
Yeah, well coached.
I mean, to get playing in high school and playing in a Division I team, wildly different. But then playing in a Division I team and then playing in the SEC, wildly different. Yeah. So I mean, to get him up to speed, to plug him in, to get him ready, he's been playing lights out.
Oh, it has. Man.
Drew Bobo is another guy. I mean, was Drew Bobo highly recruited? No.
Yeah.
And some people will say, "Oh, this is just Mike's son. He's just."
Very because he's solid center play since he's been the starter.
Exactly. So the development has been just as good on this offensive line as the coaching so far up to this point in the season hats off to them.
And that's the coaching, man. The development, when you have that, that's the coaching. So, I mean, we talked about it, and some of it was forced with injury. But at the beginning of the year, talking about you just got to rotate these guys. That's what you got to do on an offensive line room, especially when you have so many new faces, is it's just plug and play guys, and then hopefully somewhere along the way, whether it's unfortunate because of injury or just you get the right match of guys at the right positions, and then it's like, man, that's our group right there.
Yeah.
And you start to Cadillac. So I'm excited to see where they continue to go Friday and in the postseason as well, wherever that may lead us.
Yeah. Tech's defense, as we've already talked about, super susceptible to a good running offense. So, and look, Pittsburgh, they had a solid day on the ground, 186 rushing yards. That's very respectable. And then NC State, man, I think NC State actually totally exposed this Georgia Tech defense for what it is, fraudulent. 340 yards through the air.
Yep.
It's pretty daggone good. And then 243 rushing yards. So you're looking at what, 583 total yards against Tech. And NC State is not that good. They don't have that Concepcion kid. If they had him, that would make a lot of sense. But I haven't heard anything of NC State, and they put up those kind of numbers. I don't see why Georgia can't do the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way Georgia had success both through the air and on the ground, especially in the past couple of weeks, but throughout the season when they really started to ramp up, has been something fun to watch. That you can do multiple things on the offense side of the football, and I think you're going to be able to Friday as well. And it's one of those games we alluded to with Chauncey Bowens. Clark, I'm confident in the fact that if he's not 100%, I wouldn't even risk him.
Yeah.
The way Bo Walker play, I would even, I think we'll see Chauncey get some carries, man. But if he's not ready to go, I would be fine with who else we got in that room. I think I'm that confident in how our O-line and everybody will perform. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He might be 100% ready to roll, and if he is, then, of course, feed him.
Yeah, feed him. I like it. All right, Adam, let's talk about Georgia's defense versus Georgia Tech's offense. This is really the matchup in my mind of the day. You've got one of the nation's best in terms of running the football and just acquiring yards in general.
Right.
And then you've got one of the nation's best in run defense, which is obviously Georgia Tech's strong suit. Let's start with Haynes King here. Heisman guy, his name's being thrown around in the Heisman conversation. I don't know if it's going to remain in the Heisman conversation after last week's performance, but, man, he's played really, really good this season. He's about 72% in terms of completion percentage, top 10 in the nation there. He's also top 25 in passing efficiency and second in FBS in total offense. Him alone, I mean, he gets about 340 yards per game, just him.
Yeah.
Between the passing and the running, which is just wild. So very efficient. They're obviously going to use him in a lot of different ways. I think he's banged up.
Yeah.
Just based on what I saw, the other week. He's playing through injuries. A very, very tough guy.
Yeah. I mean, Haynes King, man, I hate that he plays for Georgia Tech, but you have to respect the heck out of him and his competitive spirit, his toughness, his grit. A guy who's played a lot of football, high football IQ, the son of a high school football coach. Started his career at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I know Texas A&M, especially in Jimbo Fisher's latter years, had a turnstile of quarterbacks there that has been spread out over the country where they transferred to, man. But Haynes King was one of them that went there originally. So he's played some SEC ball, but he's played a lot of ball at Tech and been a leader there, and he's been their offense, man. But well coached with a guy who really has done a great job of developing quarterbacks, a guy who was a very big part of Stetson Bennett's success and Buster Faulkner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to believe that 2022 Georgia team, that offensive staff, had, of course, Monken calling the plays, which everybody knows that, but you also had Mike Bobo and Buster Faulkner.
That's crazy. Yeah.
On that staff.
Two guys who are offense coordinators.
Right.
At, an SEC team and an ACC team.
Yeah. I mean, Faulkner came in 20 with Monken as well. So both of those were hires you had there. And I mean, if Coach Bobo ever retires one day, decides, at the end of Drew's career that he's ready to hang it up, then I think if they decide to call Faulkner, I mean, I would, that would be what he's done at Georgia Tech. Then shoot, yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely earned that right to be in consideration that when Coach Bobo retires, man. But right now, hopefully, Coach Bobo just keeps rolling like he is. But all the respect, though, for Coach Faulkner and what he's done at Georgia Tech, man. And he's a guy that's been around Glenn Schumann and his defensive philosophies and Kirby Smart, and he knows them like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
Because he used to run against them every single day in practice for, 3 years there in Athens.
Right.
So he'll definitely have a good game plan. But I think the big thing, and you alluded to, Clark, I mean, you're not going to have a Singleton at receiver this year. And I think you contain Haynes King, man. You limit his legs, his run ability to not hurt you like he did in Athens last year, then you should, I think, limit this Georgia Tech's offensive potential, and then limit some explosive stuff that they might try to do, getting a ball or two downfield. But one last thing, though, I want to say, and then I want you to talk, is, we were at Trace Amigos that Friday night. Georgia Tech played Colorado to open the season. I remember before we started the show that night, we were watching Tech's first couple of drives. It literally was just Haynes King between the tackles. The first 2 drives of the year, we're like, man, it'll be a miracle if he even makes it to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Right.
With how much that offense just rides him, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a very talented thrower. He's definitely not an NFL guy, and he won't be an NFL quarterback because he doesn't have the arm strength of it, but he is a heck of a college competitor, man, and leader for sure. You got to say that. So
yeah,
I can't believe he's made it 12 games in.
I know.
And that's good.
He's a tough cookie for sure.
Glad for that. Definitely don't want no injury on anybody.
Yeah, hard to bring down. This Georgia Tech offense, they do a lot of different things. And one of the best things that they do is on the ground, they rush really, really well. They're 17th in the nation in rushing yards. They get about 215 yards per game. They're 25th in passing yards, 270. They throw a lot of, high completion throws. They're not going to throw it. Their game plan is to nickel and dime you. I mean, in the run game and the pass game, they are not looking for huge explosives. If they get them, great. They may try some here and there, but they're not going to be. It's not the 2019 LSU. No, for Flay to guess.
Haynes King isn't going to thread the needle 25 yards downfield.
Watch him do it.
He probably will.
Georgia now
The
that you
row
said
60
that.
curse. Row 60
Knock on
curse.
wood.
But knock on wood. No. Yeah, he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Great quarterback, but
For sure.
it's not Matt Stafford out there.
Yeah.
He's throwing darts.
Tech is also a solid third down team. That's obviously something that Georgia struggled with defensively, at least in the first half of the season. I think we tightened up in weeks past, but they are converting about 48% on third downs. That's actually really good, 19th in FBS. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they get positive yards on first and second downs. They are not a team that gives up a lot of tackles for losses or sacks.
Yeah.
They fall forward. They get a good push offensively on the offensive line, man. Their offensive line is solid.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of have been ever since Brent Key has gotten here because he's an offensive line guy. Played at Georgia Tech, was an offensive
Was the
line.
O-line coach under Jeff Collins.
True.
It was the offensive line coach under Nick Saban. He left Alabama to go a lateral move from OL coach at Alabama to OL coach at Georgia Tech.
That sounds like a downgrade to me. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, that just shows how much he loves that program,
Sure.
I think. So,
yeah, absolutely.
pretty sure he did that, yeah.
Yeah, Tech's offensive line, man, they don't allow a lot of negative plays, like I said. They've only allowed 8 sacks all year. And, most of that is because also, too, you got to, I guess, add this in. Haynes King is very capable of getting yards when there's nothing downfield.
Yeah.
And he scrambles. He's a great scrambler. So got to get him down, got to contain the pocket. That's really, really tough to do. Also, as we're talking about the offensive line, we got to shout out Keelan Rutledge. He's a Franklin County guy. I know you don't know him personally, but great guy.
Good.
He was a star at Franklin County High School. Caught a game-winning touchdown pass against Stevens County, by the way, in 2020. But, yeah, really great kid. He plays on Tech's offensive line, number 70 right guard. Really great kid. But anyway, just want to shout him out. I hope he has a good day, but
Is he number 70?
I think it's number 70, yeah.
I thought he was 77.
I think he was 77, but I'm pretty sure he's number 70 now. Am I wrong about that? Hold up just a second. We got to look this up right quick. Keelan Rutledge. Let's see. I should know this. He is.
It's up,
Why did they not?
up, right there.
Oh, yeah, it is number 77. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm thinking about my buddy, Will Bryan.
He's 70. He was 70.
He was number 70.
Oh, he was 70? I
Yeah.
thought he was 77 too, because the whole time I've seen him, I thought, man, they had 2 Franklin County boys on the OL as number 77 there.
No, Will was number 70. He might have been number 77.
Oh, he was 70.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, 2 Franklin County guys have gone on to play at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So, and I like both of them, honestly. But I hope Tech loses. I hope Keelan has a great day. Just not good enough to influence the
for Georgia Tech to win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's-
So anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
A few more notes about this Georgia Tech offense. They're -6 in turnover margin, which is really interesting. They don't really get a lot of turnovers, and they give the ball away, too many times.
Yeah.
So they're 110th in FBS. That's something to look out for.
Yeah, if Haynes King makes some of the decisions that he made last Saturday night when I was watching that Pittsburgh game, and Georgia's allowed to get up +2, +3 turnover margin, man, watch out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
I would love it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would love it. But, of course, he'll probably play like Tom Brady, lights out against Georgia. But, yeah.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah. What Jalen Milroe, he turned into a superhero, like a Marvel character when he played against Georgia.
Who's your favorite Marvel character?
I don't know.
Name
Freaking
one.
Batman.
No, Batman's DC.
Oh, okay. Well, Batman is Superman then. Those were the two.
Yeah. All right, give me Give me a Marvel. You're still talking DC. Give me a Marvel.
I don't know the
character.
difference between the two.
No, just keep naming superheroes. Come on. The people want you to
Okay.
name a
All right.
Marvel superhero.
Spider-Man.
No, that's DC too.
Is it really?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Are
Think
you
of
sure about
yes, I promise. Think of who's big and green.
The Green Lantern.
No, that's DC too. Adam. What in the world? Adam.
Oh, the whole.
There you go.
There we go.
Iron Man, Captain America,
Yeah.
Thor.
Thor. Yeah. Thor.
Anyway, he'll turn into
good.
one of those.
Yeah, that's
Playing
right.
Georgia.
That's right.
God, that was
I'm
crazy.
an old Batman guy.
Yeah.
Like the old Batman. I remember the old animated ones back in the late 90s when I was
Yeah.
a kid growing up. That was good. And then I thought The Dark Knight was a good production. I'm not a big superhero Marvel DC guy, but a lot of people are, and I love that because I always say be passionate about something.
Right.
I don't care what just as long as it's a healthy passion, right? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, a good, just to turn off life for a little bit, right? But if you're passionate about DC and Marvel, then that's great. I love that.
Good on you.
Dude, good on you. Yeah. But I thought The Dark Knight was a good film.
It was. Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, Heath Ledger did a great job as a Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one to study acting, really, and that line of work because I don't know how to do it. But from what I hear in interviews and stuff, like you'll just see pop up on the old YouTube reels every now and then that was a phenomenal performance.
It was.
That's what they say, like one of the best.
It was so good that did you know why and this is pretty morbid. Actually, we're not going to talk about this. I'll tell you after the show.
All right,
Most people
let's
know
keep the energy up.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
We could go on a whole tangent on that.
This
but,
Thanksgiving week, we're thankful for life and
true. Anyway,
Georgia football.
that's right. Back to Georgia Tech right quick.
And some people out there are thankful for Marvel and DC too. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Love it.
Yep. Georgia Tech's main three rushers, Haynes King is their number one rusher, actually, their quarterback. Interesting. Malachi Hosley would be their number two guy, and then Jamal Haynes. They kind of rotate Jamal Haynes and Hosley pretty good bit. So you'll see number 0, number 1 a lot on the field, running right beside Haynes King. They're going to feed those guys as they do pretty much every game. You'll see him throw a lot, too, out of the backfield to Jamal Haynes. He gets the ball. He's I don't know, he kind of reminds me of James Cook a little bit. He's very speedy, not super tall or anything, but, man, I mean, he can just move. So, got to look out for them.
He's a veteran guy.
He is, yeah. You got to. They're also going to rotate a lot of receivers. Their main targets are number 3, Eric Rivers, number 4, Isaiah Canyon. You got Malik Rutherford. He's been there a couple of years, I think, and then Jordan Allen. I want to say he's a freshman. So those are their 4 main targets on the perimeter. Once again, they're going to throw the ball, but it's not going to be these 50-yard bombs down the field. Right. It's going to be a lot of slants, a lot of curls, a lot of just get what you can get against this Georgia defense. Get some yak. And they've been pretty good about it. So
I like it.
Got to limit that this week. I guess no C.J. Allen. That means I about said Rameek Wilson.
What?
Raylan Wilson. Raylan Wilson. Same position.
Gotta love Rameek Wilson. Yeah, you just said about 12 years behind. That's okay. Love that.
Oh,
so you can go back in the roster a little bit. Yeah. That's good.
Somebody said, I said this. What am I saying? I guess it was, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, something like that. I said, I was talking about Daniel Harris. I think I said Tyreek Stevenson.
Oh, I've done several like that before. 100%, man. Just been lost in it and just completely think that there's a guy that played in like 2009 out there or something.
Oh, man.
Especially defensive linemen. I have a problem with it with the defensive line.
I know, man.
Like, I mean, sometimes you still think, oh, Ingram's Dawkins. Is that
right?
Or that was only a year ago. Yeah, that was only a year ago. Was Ingram's Dawkins. Sometimes you think, man, there goes Kenville up there. I mean, that's been 20 years ago or so.
John Jenkins.
Man.
When's the last time we've had a single number defensive lineman? Julian Rochester.
Number
5. That guy.
You had to remember him because he stayed at the program about 20 years. So I think he was on Rick's 2005 SEC championship team and one of Kirby's first. It's about the middle of the Kirby game. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, man. Julian Rochester.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. We could go down a rabbit hole on that. Just talk about old guys like that.
Yeah. Yeah, not good contributors. Had solid careers, but not just like your standout guys, you know.
Oh, man, we can't go on it.
Oh, you're good.
I was about to ask a question, but man, that would have sent us.
No,
that would have sent us down a hole. Like, who was the most? Who was the player that just frustrated you the most being on the field?
Oh, God.
Well, that might be a whole episode right there. Not necessarily the worst one, but just like the one that you saw out there just gave you an insane amount of stress.
You know, looking back on it now, some of my, I hate saying this, but least favorite was about the 2013 secondary.
Oh,
when you think of Trey Matthews, Josh Harvey Clemens, and Shag Wiggins.
Oh my gosh, those three right there.
Looking back on it now,
yeah,
they probably, I don't know what. Hopefully they're all, but just because being a Georgia fan and the prayer Jordan Hare, and then all of them leaving Georgia, right?
And then Trey Matthews going to Auburn,
exactly. Then Harvey Clemens and Wiggins went to Louisville.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just so funny to look back at what you got so fired up about back then and the caliber of players that you got fired up about back then, thinking, you know,
these are our guys.
This is where it's going to be the undefeated national championship year. This is the year we're going to beat Kirby Smart and Nick Saban's Alabama team.
And then you lose to freaking Vanderbilt.
Yeah. God. That 2013 season was wild, man. But no, I mean, good memories back then too, following those guys, and they might be great guys. Just as a fan, I guess if that's the question. Yeah. Now looking back,
that's a whole new episode right there. We'll have to do in the off season. Anyway, Adam, overall, I hate Georgia Tech, but man, they have a good football team. They're not going to go away in this game. They want vengeance for last year after what we did to them. We ripped their hearts out and we stomped on it and then poured acid on it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Make no mistake that that's been in their minds for 365 days now, right? And when they got back for the 2025 team to meet in February, that was a talking point from day one. I think. I mean, I wasn't there, but I would imagine with the look in Brent Key's face on the 50, staring at the Sanford Stadium scoreboard on that chilly Friday night, that's been a key focus of theirs to beat Georgia. It always has been, but it would be ramped up even more, and it is for Georgia as well to beat Tech, but it ramped up even more after what happened last year. So they will be ready. Haynes King will be ready. No doubt about it. Buster Faulkner will have a good game plan against this defense and put their players in position to be able to move the ball downfield, but it'll just come down with they'll be able to execute against talented Georgia defense in the sense, and a defense that I feel good and confident about has been growing up. A lot of guys growing up, new guys getting snaps, man, and I'm confident about it going in, but definitely a game that we've seen under a well-coached football team with Brent Key and Buster Faulkner and their staff that I respect. I respect Brent Key. I love that he hates Georgia and loves seeing his misery of losing to Georgia, but I respect him more than Paul Johnson. I just couldn't stand Paul Johnson.
Yeah.
I could not stand Paul Johnson. He may be a great person, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't think he's. I just don't. I did not like him. Back about circa 2017 is when you had the best coaches of Georgia's rivals to hate: Paul Johnson, Gus Malzahn, Butch Jones, and Dan Mullen.
Yeah, Dan Mullen, Florida.
Jim McElwain, and then going into Mullen
/ Dan
at the end of the year.
True.
In the 18.
True. And Clemson.
That was a good lineup.
Clemson with Dabo.
Yeah, Dabo's.
Of course, he's still here, but yeah, anyway. All righty, folks. So we'll pick Georgia Tech at the very end of this episode.
Gonna be a good one, baby.
But before that, we've got some more Week 14 games we'll talk about here. We'll start on Friday. We got the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss, number 7 Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Mississippi State. Wait, there's no way that's right. Sorry. I had Mississippi State favored by 7.5. Let me switch that over to Ole Miss. I don't even have to look at the the official
You mean the
betting
line's
odds.
only a 7.5?
Yeah.
And it's in Starkville, though, right?
In Starkville,
Okay.
12 o'clock, ABC Egg Bowl.
Man, I'm kind of ticked at the lineup on Friday that we're a part of it, that it couldn't have been like we either played on Saturday or the other two games have been on Saturday. How come like Clemson, South Carolina couldn't have been on Friday with us then? Because there's some good games on Friday that that we're sandwiched in between, but we'll still get to see them. But anyway, yeah. Obviously, man, the whole college football universe is dialed in on what is Lane Kiffin going to do. Reports LSU is putting out $98 million offers out there to him, man, trying to persuade him that Ole Miss is going to send it out. Florida actually still kind of thinks they have a shot. My whole hope in it is that Florida just gets left standing on the curb with nothing, with their hands still just stuck out and wanting something.
Yeah.
And not
with their pants down.
With their pants. I love it. Any type of humiliation that the University of Florida and Gainesville can get, I'm for it. No matter what it is. I don't care if it's academic humiliation or on the football field.
Right.
I just don't like the University of Florida.
Me neither.
That's who I dislike more than anybody. But anyway, so, I mean, they said there's going to be an announcement on Saturday. One last, you think about it, I still think Ole Miss is going to win. Playoff hopes alive this year, where they lost it late in the season last year. Give me Ole Miss. I just think there's too much talent, and the offense too explosive against a bad Mississippi State defense.
Yeah, I think if Mississippi State's defense were just a hair better, they'd have a really good shot. I mean, they still have a shot.
Hoping for a shootout.
Yeah, if they do get in a shootout, look out. Yeah. I mean, Ole Miss's defense, from what I remember, wasn't that great. So, I don't know, man. Could get interesting here. But give me Ole Miss by just a little bit. It's all to be close, though. All right, the nightcap. Well, not necessarily the nightcap, but the primetime game on Friday night will be number 3, Texas A&M, at number 16, Texas in Austin, 7:30 ABC. We got A&M favored right now by 2.5 points. So, this – folks, if you didn't know this, I'm sure most of you do, but if Texas does pull the upset here against the Aggies, Georgia's a shoe-in for the SEC championship game.
That's right, man. So exciting, 3:30, beat Georgia Tech in the regular season 11-1. Great year that would be. And then you have 2 games to key in on that if they go our way and either of those games, Georgia gets into the SEC championship. So that'll be fun viewing after we play. And the first one, like you alluded to, Clark, is Texas A&M at Texas. One of the best rivalries in college athletics, I feel like. One that had been dormant for 14 years until last year, right? Or 13 years until last year. And that was a game last year that was highly anticipated in College Station. The winner went to the SEC championship. Of course, it was Texas and Georgia beating them. But this year has implications whether if A&M will go this year or not. Of course, Texas has been eliminated, but they would love nothing more in Austin to play spoiler to the Texas A&M Aggies, man. This was tough because this is huge for A&M. I mean, to go to their first SEC championship game, they've been in the conference now. This is their, 13th, 14th year, and they've yet to have a berth there. But an Elko's second year going would be huge. Cap off an undefeated regular season would be wild. But Texas, man, I think this is kind of the last kind of stamp they can make on a disappointing 2025 year for them. As a preseason number 1 and with Arch Manning hype. They kind of, the legacy of the 25 team can be that, hey, we spoiled A&M's undefeated season. We got them where they're left out of the conference championship game. We went in our first year of conference championship. You've been in the league 14, 15 years, yada, yada. In Austin, man, I think Texas I think I'm going to go with my heart that I hope Texas beats them.
All right.
And I'm going to go with Texas beating Texas.
Okay.
A&M.
I definitely could see that, Adam. And there's a very real possibility, especially in Austin. And you're right. Texas, man, they seem to play a lot better at home than on the road. Of course, last year they went into Aggie Land and got the win. And, I think Texas A&M, though they're out for vengeance, they remember that feeling that kept them out of the SEC championship game last year.
Yeah.
They're going to go in with a little fire, a little passion. I'm not going to say the full thing. That's sacrilegious against the Georgia Bulldogs. Anyway, I think Texas A&M is the real deal this year. I could be dead wrong about them and watch them go in and lay an egg. Of course, I mean, look, South Carolina had them on the ropes, but they're a resilient football team.
They are, man.
I mean, to come back.
They believe in what Mike Elko's preaching. So, I mean, this is going to be a fun game to watch. I can see it going either way. I don't think it'll be as low scoring as it was in College Station last year.
Right. But give me Texas A&M by about, I don't know, a field goal or so. Watch it come down to field goals.
Oh, man, that would be wild.
We'll see. All righty. We got number 25, Arizona versus number 20, Arizona State, 9 o'clock Fox.
Big
That'll
12
be
action.
that'll be
Crazy to say.
that'll be a fun game to watch at the very end of the night. After everybody's back home and rested in their lazy boy recliners after the Georgia Tech game. Anyway, Arizona State. Arizona's favored by 1.5 points. It's in Tempe. We've been to Tempe, Adam.
Yeah, they're going to play some Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get fired up.
Running with the devil.
They're going to boom, 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 bum, bum, bum,
I live my life like there's no tomorrow. What I get, I had to steal. All right, we'll spare you guys the rest.
Can we get copyrighted infringement for that right there?
They're going to YouTube's going to match that with the actual Van Halen track and say that was way too close. We're going to strike them for copyright. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Who do you like in this game? Honestly, I've watched very little Arizona State. I've watched a little Arizona State. I've watched zero Arizona.
Oh, have you? Well, don't look now, Clark, but the Arizona Wildcats, man, lost Jed Fish.
Okay.
You know, they went through some turmoil. Went through old Kevin Sumlin, then Rich Rod, and then they get Jed Fish that kind of revitalized the program there in Tucson.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, they come like programs like Arizona. If they have some success, somebody's going to come poach their coach, right? So this time it's the Washington Huskies. Big Ten contract, lured them out of the Big 12. It's so weird referring to these West Coast teams to these conferences, but lured Jed Fish. Now he's in his second year at Washington. And I don't know the name of the Arizona coach, but he's doing a dang good job, whoever it is.
He is.
Doing a dang good job. Kenny Dillingham, of course, great year last year. Solid program he's got at Arizona State. Love how he squashed the rumors and signed an extension with Arizona State. He is an alum of Arizona State, where we've seen so many of these successful programs with the guys coming back home. And got a good culture over there in Tempe. But the Arizona Wildcats, Clark, they're wanting this one. They're playing good ball right now. I think they're red hot. I think Arizona State just came off a big win against Deion Sanders as well. A 3-8 Deion Sanders Colorado Buffalo team. And give me the Arizona Wildcats.
All right.
To go into Tempe and Sun Devil
Get it
Stadium.
done.
I guess it's still called Sun Devil Stadium. And win that game. I'm not confident at all with that pick. But we got to create some separation between us. Give me the Arizona Wildcats, Clark.
Yeah. You're only one game behind right now, Adam. Let's make things interesting. I'm going to take the Sun Devils, that is, in Tempe. I don't know why. I just like Kenny Dillingham.
He's a good coach.
And I love Tempe, Arizona. That was a really cool place. I wish Georgia would play there every 10 years or so. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It's good to see ranked football and out there in Arizona. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that those fans get to experience it. Not a lot of love between them two programs.
Mm-mm. Charlie Kirk would be proud, if he were still with us. Arizona. I know he was an Oregon fan, but just his state showing out.
He's
a
definitely
ranked matchup. So
yeah, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Let's move on to Saturday. You guys, we're already 3 games in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 games left.
Good.
Why not? We're here. It's 11:34 p.m. November 25th, Tuesday night.
Yeah, let's just keep rolling.
We'll keep going. Yeah, why not? All right. The next game is at 12 o'clock, a nooner. Big game right here. We've got number 1 Ohio State at number 15 Michigan. The game, 12 o'clock Fox. Ohio State is favored by 9.5 points. Adam, does Sharon Moore do it again and beat Ryan Day?
Man, I didn't think they'd do it last year, but they did.
Yeah.
In the shoe.
You probably didn't think they'd do it the year before that either.
No.
Potentially.
No. Yeah, no, the 3 years, I was looking, I remember the first year they started the streak walking out of Atlanta at Bobby Dodd Stadium in 21 for our first national championship year. Mm-hmm. And, of course, that's the year we beat Michigan in the Orange Bowl. And they steamrolled them, man. Mm-hmm. Then they go the next year in 22, and Harbaugh does it again, man.
Yeah.
It's like Harbaugh made a deal in around
with the Sun Devil.
Around 21, right? Because things just changed then. Very pedestrian the first 6 years, and then something happened. They might have some sacrifice or something happened in Ann Arbor. Then they got Connor Stallions. They started cheating. That's exactly what happened, actually. But
you think they sacrificed like an animal?
No, they got Connor Stallions and started stealing signs.
But
that's
just play along with me.
But yeah, they sacrificed a real Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
Something probably maybe. I don't know what something turned, but we all know now that it was Connor Stallions.
Right.
And, their investigative skills. And look, they had the signs for Georgia in the Orange Bowl, and it still didn't matter.
Yeah.
Came right out of their mouths. I love that. It was beautiful. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, it's been fun to see Michigan win this game. I hope Michigan does win because I'm scared that Ohio State, man, if they win this one, they catapult, they go to the playoff, they have a chance to go back-to-back. Do not want to see them take away Georgia being the last team to go back-to-back, and then Ryan Day kind of then would – I think everybody would put him above Kirby Smart as the guy, the coach here in this new 12-team playoff NIL portal area, how hard it is to do that, and especially it would make them go that they would be undefeated doing it too,
right? Going
16-0, however it is now. So I don't want to see that, but I think they are keyed in. I think they go to Ann Arbor and win. But, hey, Michigan still got a lot to play for. Potential Big Ten championship berth. I don't think it's automatic clinch if they beat Ohio State, but if they do beat Ohio State, even if they don't go to the Big Ten championship, I think then they would get an argument to be an at-large and have the most impressive win out of all the teams up with number one Ohio State team. So it's not like Michigan has nothing to play for, eliminated from everything like Texas is, right? Mm-hmm. At home, they still got a lot to play for. If they do beat them, it's somehow that they win the game 3-0.
Yeah.
Or 7-3,
just
something like
rock
that.
Fight.
But I do think Ohio State after last year is done what we talked about. 365. It's been about beating Michigan right now. I think they unleash it.
Yeah,
Saturday.
I'm with you there. I don't think this Michigan team is quite as good without Connor Stallions. Yeah, and especially after the flag plant and the brawl. I think people forgot about that. I know I did for a while until I saw a highlight of it this past week, and I was like, golly, I totally forgot about that. So good and well. Of course, that's what we said the year before about Ohio State. Oh, man, they're going to be ready for Michigan next year, especially in the shoe. But, hey, this year's in the big house. It's at Michigan. Look, I could definitely see Michigan upsetting them in a wild way, just voodoo magic. But give me Ohio State. I'll stick with you there.
I mean, Sharon has it. I mean, he has Day's number. This would be the third time he's beat him.
Right.
Harbaugh was suspended the 2 years ago. He beat him then.
And
then he beat him last year. As a team. I remember I was sitting in that chair right there watching it last year, the brawl and everything. Like, this is great. This is sticking just a dagger in Ohio State. And of course, it just motivated them to go on and just have a very impressive run. Nobody in the country was going to beat them in the playoff last year with their $20 million roster, right? And, so I don't know. I do think Ohio State wins it.
All right. Number 5, Texas Tech at West Virginia in Morgantown, 12 o'clock ESPN. I thought I'd throw this on the schedule because you got number 5 going into a hostile environment.
Morgantown, West Virginia.
Yeah, what else they have to play for? This is their Super Bowl, I guess, this year. Who do you take, Adam?
I don't like Rich Rodriguez, especially at West Virginia, because it gives me flashbacks to the 2005-2006 Sugar Bowl after the 2005 season in Atlanta where we got upset by them. And, first year back at West Virginia is Rich Rod. Joe McGuire has the Texas Tech Red Raiders rolling, looking to win their first ever conference championship, Big 12 championship since, decades and decades upon decades, man. So the investment of all the old tycoons out there in West Texas is paying off with their loaded defensive front, it feels like, and rolling through the Big 12 on their way to a championship and playoff berth and potential meetup with the Georgia Bulldogs, how it looks now. And I think they have no problem winning. Hey, last thing. I know I'm just rambling on this segment, but one thing to point out to everybody, just to add to Texas Longhorn fans' misery, there's a chance, Clark, that Texas Tech, Texas A&M, SMU, and North Texas, 4 teams from the state of Texas not named the University of Texas Longhorns can make the playoffs this year.
Wow. I did not realize that. Jeez. That's crazy. That probably does rub a lot of Texas fans the wrong way. Good. I don't really care for them. I know a lot of people out there listening to this don't care for Texas. I'm with you there, Adam. I just thought I'd see if, I don't know, maybe, there was a wild outside shot that you'd take West Virginia.
No.
I can bet you with that.
Look, that defensive front they have over there in Lubbock right now is way too strong for this Big 12 rate. I know they slipped against Arizona State, but.
Yeah, give me Texas Tech as well on this one. All right, next up, we got the Palmetto Bowl. Clemson, South Carolina, 12 o'clock SEC Network in Williams-Brice Stadium, the butthole of the South. South Carolina is favored by 2.5 points here. Shane Beamer versus Dabo Sweetie. This is a great – man,
What's their records?
I don't know.
It's bad.
Both are terrible.
And I love
Wait. What are their records? We need to figure this out because this might actually kind of play into
might
my
have
pick.
whoever's going to go to the dang Cheez-It Bowl.
Right. All right. We got
Right?
Clemson right now. They are. Drum roll, please.
They're bowl eligible.
I don't know. Clemson is 6-5, so they've already clinched
good
the bowl.
for them, man. That is awesome. They get to go to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Or I don't even the Belt Bowl. That's not even a Belt Bowl anymore. The Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Something like that. Yeah, Carolina, this is their season right here. 4-7. They've got a chance this upcoming week to at least knock off and win the state championship, knock off Clemson.
Shane's on a bit of a skid right now. I think he's lost 5-6 straight.
Yeah. No. He won last week against.
Oh, that's right. But before that, it
it
was like 5 straight, right?
Right.
So this is fun. Shane is 2-2 against Clemson, Clark.
Right.
Right, 5th time meeting them, but the problem is the 2 wins were in Clemson and Death Valley. Right, I mean it's unreal. But both teams are juiced about this. This is good. None of these teams have nothing to play for but pride. And I saw, we get the local South Carolina news here living in Franklin County on the state line. So they've been interviewing them, really hyping up this matchup of the Palmetto Bowl, what they have at high noon over there in Columbia.
Right.
And I don't know, Clark.
How are you going to do it?
I think Shane Beamer is really riding on the fact that what he can do and the what he can
What are you saying?
the prestige that could come from beating Clemson, having a winning record against Clemson, going 3-2 against them. And I mean, and he is going to take that Palmetto Bowl trophy, strap it in to the passenger seat. Because that thing's going to be heavy enough. That's going to make the door or the seatbelt light icon ding. So he's going to have to strap it in his front seat.
Yes.
And take it with him when he's dropping his kids off to school and going around Columbia and running
to tout
errands,
it a little bit.
To tout it a little bit. So hopefully he's going to buy some goodwill and some momentum going in the offseason, beating Clemson and Columbia. But it's not going to happen. I think Dabo's going to have his team juiced up, ready to roll to go into Columbia and continue his winning ways in Columbia. And, go 7-5, not have a 500 season, right? So that's going to be good. You should be proud of that as Clemson fans, man. Go 7-5. Go to the go play before Christmas. Be home for the holidays. Go play a Sun Belt team in the Bahamas or something, possibly.
Yeah,
on December 18th.
That's not that bad.
Or whenever it may be, December 21st, and be home for Christmas and get ready for the next year.
There you go.
And go 7-5. That's good for you over there in Clemson. I'm proud of the effort that Dabo has had this year and keeping his team together, and just outstanding coaching job this year. We saw that in Louisville the other Friday night. I really got to tip your hat to Dabo Swinney and what he's done with the talent he's had.
I agree.
In a tough conference, in a tough league, and tough slate.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I'm going to take Carolina just because.
Oh.
Why not? You got me hyped up over Shane Beamer and him touting his Palmetto Bowl trophy. So
if he does,
I'm going to take him.
Oh, it's going to be great.
He's going to cry.
Oh, no, I can already tell you what the post game speech will be.
What's that?
It'll be, nobody's believed in this team after we had, but I'm so proud of these guys and the effort they bought in to beat Clemson. We're now 3-2 against Clemson. This is going to catapult us. This time next year, you're going to be talking about South Carolina football and the playoff hunt and the playoff chase. No doubt about that. Like, you get very just juiced about the future of South Carolina football.
Yeah. Well,
and what they're building in year 5 there.
This is their bowl game. So, I mean, look, I fully expect them to just throw everything, out there. And I think, look, Carolina's defense,
they might do it. I don't know.
They're not that bad. Lenore Sellers is not that bad. Of course, there's probably some Carolina fans right now that'd be arguing with me on both of those points, but we shall see. Give me Carolina, though. All right, we got number 6, Oregon at Washington, 3:30 CBS. Not a bump game. Those don't exist anymore. Yeah, we don't bump up a bum on this podcast anymore. Number 6, Oregon is favored by 6.5 points. That's it. Why do you think that is?
Well, this was the second tier of teams from the old Pac-12 to come into the Big Ten. They got USC, UCLA first, and then they went and got Oregon, Washington. So they're kind of lumped together and just naturally thrown together in the Big Ten on Rivalry weekend now. Dan Lannon, last time he went to Seattle, lost to Washington that year 2 times to Kalen DeBoer, right?
Right.
And it's going to be a tough place to play, man. Probably raining, but Oregon's used to that. They play a lot of games in the rain. It's going to be cold up there. Jed Fish, good football coach. Good, Washington's got a sneaky, decent team up there. I think it's going to be a close game, But give me Oregon to win by about 10 points or so on the road. But would feel a whole lot better about that pick if it was in Eugene.
I agree.
I mean, Seattle, man, it's a low key, just very difficult place to play.
Mm-hmm. I think it holds the record for the loudest. Of course, that was like, I don't know, 20 years ago. The loudest decibel record, whatever. They hold that still somehow, which is just wild to me. It looks like a really cool stadium. Every time I've ever played there in the video game setting, it's awesome. Yeah. So anyway, I'll take Oregon too. I think that's a safe bet here by about a touchdown. All right, moving on, SEC matchup. LSU at number 8. Oklahoma, 3:30 ABC. This is one of those forced rivalries. Like, I mean, you got to play. You know, I don't think either team necessarily hates each other right now. Maybe that will change here in the course of a few years. I don't know. But, let's see. Oklahoma is favored by 10.5. This is a 3:30 kick, ABC. Adam, I'm just going to go ahead and take Oklahoma. Yeah. I think they've got the defense, man. They are looking pretty good. I mean, as long as John Mateer can move the football on this LSU defense, which is still respectable, then I think they'll win. But this is a rock fight right here if I've ever seen one. I'd take the under. I think it's something like 36 points, which is just comical. I mean, that's so freaking low. So few points are going to be scored in this game. Give me Oklahoma, though, in a close battle that goes all the way to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's crazy. Outside of Alabama, I'm not sure. LSU's they've just rotated who their end-of-year rival is. They've just gone from back in the day before all these SEC mergers, man. It's like every time the SEC adds a pair of new teams, they force that rivalry on LSU at the end of the year. It started out that Arkansas was LSU's for the boot, was always the last game of the year. Then it went to Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. And that provided some good quality entertainment for A&M that length of time that they played on rivalry weekend because, of course, A&M didn't play Texas. So now it's Oklahoma. And like you said, Clark, I think this game's going to be about 17-7. Brent Venables, it's so funny to see now Oklahoma fans have to be it's just wild to see the ones that lived through the Lincoln Riley era and the Big 12 to how they were winning games like 45-41. Yeah. Literally, I mean, when we played them in the Rose Bowl, had defenses that couldn't stop a thing, but just scored at will with Baker Mayfield, right, or Kyler Murray and all those guys. But now they're winning games 17-6. Like a Kirk Ferentz would be very proud. Yeah, the Iowa head coach of the brand of ball that Brent Venables is playing. So yeah, give me Oklahoma 17-7, man, and going to the college football playoff. Yeah, it's a good year for Brent Venables, who a lot of people had their doubts about in September.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got another SEC matchup. Well, you said Oklahoma, right? And I said Oklahoma as well. All right, another SEC matchup here. Fun in-state rivalry. This game ought to be very fun to watch. I am so excited about these.
Yeah, this is going to be
and we get such a good slate on Saturday. We'll play on Friday, obviously, and then Saturday we get to kick back, relax, and just watch all of these, finally.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's going to be a good storyline Saturday, too, as far as you see maybe the old carousel starting to ramp up a little bit on the coaching circuit.
Absolutely. All right, we got number 14, Vanderbilt, at number 19, Tennessee and Neyland, 3.5-point favorites. That's what Tennessee is. 3:30 ESPN. Man, I would love to see Diego Pavia go into Neyland Stadium and win this game. I think it'd be so much fun to watch that. Gosh.
Yeah.
Tennessee fans right now, they're not feeling so great. I mean, it's good season, whatever, but just the fact that they're even talking about or have thought about this season getting rid of Josh Heupel has me just dying laughing. I mean, that shouldn't even be talked about. Tennessee has their guy in Josh Heupel, and yet the fan base starting to turn against them because they're just so stupid. That sounds really harsh, but that's just the fact of the matter. They're just stupid.
They think that every coach in America would crawl on their hands and knees to Knoxville.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then especially if you run somebody like Heupel out, who's had the most success there in decades, and then before Heupel, you look at how the way the ADs have treated the coaches and just the turnstile of coaches has been in Knoxville. So yeah, I mean they're not firing him, and they should.
Right.
They should.
So do you like Tennessee or you like Vandy in this?
I think this is the last feather in the cap that Clark Lee needs to have a realistic, just absolutely magical 2-year run with Diego Pavia. Last year we had a lot of hope that it would happen in Nashville, right? But Nico Amialave, hadn't said that name in a while. That was pretty good without any practice. Lit him up last year in Nashville, right? So I think that Tennessee is going to get up and win this game in Neyland. Maybe. I think. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, stick with Tennessee.
Because you're going Vanderbilt.
I want to go with Vandy.
All right,
Let's
I'll
make
go with
things
Tennessee.
interesting.
Let's just make it interesting.
Well, you got Vegas on your side.
Yeah.
Tennessee's favored by 3.5. I don't have Vegas on my side here, but I do have Diego Pavia and Clark Lee, and that's I think, and then Theo Vaughn too. He's somehow mixed, and then Diego Pavia's mom's in there. All four of them. It is a circus, but the circus is coming to Neyland Stadium,
man.
And they're going to stick around and they're going to put on a show.
I never thought Vanderbilt would have like the just off the field just hype and stuff going on. I mean, what a wild time. I mean, if you remember the Bobby Johnson Vanderbilt Commodores with Jay Cutler and them, I mean, just a very vanilla program. But now, I mean, it's just what the spice has been added to.
You know what?
Nashville and Vanderbilt. I mean,
look, I've got a theory out there, and Will Snipes, if you're listening, I know he if he stuck around this long, he's probably still listening, I'd imagine. Anyway, he's going to appreciate this. I think that the turning point in this Vanderbilt program is when we lost, albeit now it was a great logo, but when we lost the star logo with just the generic V in the middle, and we just switched to the boring, bland V logo. It's kind of more modern looking, more minimalist. I think that's the catalyst that sparked this team and got it.
And it was a good move by Clark. Like to go back to kind of old school, but kind of they needed to change. I miss the star logo.
I do
like
too.
Especially on the press box. I remember the last time we went up there, they had just the plain V and they took the star. I was like, what are we doing? Vanderbilt? But no, you're right. I agree with that. And also, I mean, just imagine, look at how far Clark Lee has took this program since getting all those guys from New Mexico State or wherever Jerry Keel and Tim Beck and Pavia came from over there in New Mexico, somewhere in New Mexico, has definitely catapulted this team to a place that never thought we'd see. I mean, they're literally entering the last week of the regular season with a chance to get an at-large bid at the college football playoff.
Hilarious.
I don't think they have the wins to do it, but heck, they're staring right down the barrel of a 10-2 season, and I didn't allude that right. That would mean never mind. They're staring down a 10-2 season, Clark, and that's good for Vanderbilt.
Right.
I mean, we're 5 years removed from they trotted out a female kicker against Tennessee in this game 5 years ago as a publicity stunt. I mean, let's just call it like it is, right? I mean, it was just a bad time, and they chickened out of playing Georgia the last game. I mean, it happened in COVID year, wild times in 2020, but that's what we witnessed in the college football season in 2020. They literally opted out of playing Georgia in the SEC matchup, and they trotted out a female kicker. I mean, he kicked the ball better than I can. I mean, but still, right. I mean, it was all a publicity stunt. Let's just call it like it was. I mean, don't tell me that. I mean, we saw one of the kids hammer up. I mean, I know he was probably in middle school or early high school at the time, but we saw that old boy absolutely ripping on College Game Day in Nashville a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah,
right?
the Vandy fan.
I mean, they could have got another guy capable of kicking extra points if they had to go get somebody with a student body, right? But they did the female deal because, I mean, it was a PR stunt. I mean, whatever. But so, anyway, you go from what that was under Derek Mason to where Clark Lee has them now in just 5 years. And you're like, man, look at what they're doing in Nashville.
Give me Vandy, though. I like Vandy over Tennessee. And, you're right, though. That would be Clark Lee's last feather in his cap before a potential shot at a college football playoff. We'll see. That'll be a fun one to watch, though, sure enough.
Oh, will, especially in Neyland. I like that.
I bet it'll be a shootout, very similar to Georgia and Tennessee. All right, moving on. We got two more here. We got Florida State at Florida, 4:30 ESPN2. What a dumpster fire. Is this the pillow fight of the week?
This is the pillow fight of the week.
It's got to be.
This right here, South Carolina, Clemson, and Florida State are just elite football that's going to be played on Saturday.
Yes.
That we're going to be just blessed to be able to watch.
Oh, yeah. God, this is going to be so much fun, man. This is like two kindergartners, duking it out.
I cannot imagine how demoralizing for the opposing fan base is going to be who loses this game. Because, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, because if Florida State loses, they're still stuck with Mike Norvell. You saw that, right?
They don't have the money to fire.
Yeah.
They're going to say, they just entered the arms race that happened over a decade ago with the facility research, right? I mean, they're about 10 years behind on getting the facilities, but now they don't have the money for NIL to buy players, but they said they do, but they don't. But they don't have the money to buy out Norvell because they just gave it to a massive extension because they got just the agent in Norvell just absolutely. I mean, Norvell was never going to Alabama with the opening, but they used that. Florida State came off of their little ACC championship run where they got snubbed out of the playoff and got boat raced by Georgia. I don't care who all sat out. But, I mean, since then, Florida State football has been trash, man. Florida's been trash for a while. I love this. I don't care for either program. It's never good for Georgia recruiting when Florida State is good. People don't realize that, too. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, especially in the night. Man, back in 96, this was a 1-versus-2 matchup in the mid-90s between Spurrier and Bowden. Fun football games to go back and watch. Then replayed each other in the national championship. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I love it. I'm all here for it. Where's it at? Where's
it's
this
in
game?
Gainesville.
It's in Give me Florida.
Yeah.
Give me Florida.
Me too.
I guess I don't know. They look like they've been dead since Jackson.
So is Florida State.
Florida State had some of the most abysmal special teams I've ever seen against a Friday night game against the North Carolina State Wolfpack, man.
Oh, my gosh. You know what we might have to do? Are we watching games here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Saturday.
Absolutely.
We might have to live stream.
And like really get hyped. Like this game has major implications across the college football landscape.
Honestly, that might be something we look into.
Yeah.
Is live streaming our reaction to that game. If anybody wants to watch that with us, that would be hilarious.
Somebody asked some hype to this game.
Oh, my gosh. We need to do that.
I know those fans are really going to be eager and not going to get a wink of sleep Friday night in anticipation for this. And where what a win for each program can catapult them to. Right?
This needs to be coined as the trash bowl this year. Waste management bowl, if you will.
Yeah, I love the fact, all the Florida fans thinking they're going to get Lane Kiffin. And then what if the game before either Kiffin announces Saturday he's going to – this is great. I want this is what I want to happen. I want Saturday morning Lane Kiffin to say he's staying in Oxford.
Yes.
After beating Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl and going to the playoffs,
or potentially going to LSU.
Or if he goes to LSU, that's fine. Yeah, but either way, before this game, there's going to be a Lane Kiffin announcement. Either that he's not going to Florida. So they're all going to have that. And then just stick that dagger in them and just throw more dirt on their grave with Florida State beating them.
Stick a spear through their hearts, if you will.
Chief Osceola just come in there, ride, stick a spear through them, and then take the horse and trample over them.
Wow. Man, that makes me want to change my pick here. But I'm going to stick with it. My gut says Florida somehow, some way in Gainesville. But I don't know.
And give me a camera. I don't even know if he's still going to these games. He's paid by the university, so he should be there. But you know how he does when his teams aren't doing good. He quits in the middle of the year.
Right.
Give me a camera of Spurrier.
Oh, yeah.
In the press box if they're losing. I would love that. I would pay pay-per-view prices.
Me too.
For a Spurrier reaction camera to if Florida State starts beating Florida, especially if they don't get Kiffin. And then,
Look, I think I said this when we played Florida this year. I mean, if Florida were smart, they'd go and they'd make Steve Spurrier the head coach. What do they have to lose? I mean, at least rally the fan base.
He wouldn't do it because his ego is so that he knows the talent's not there. It would make him look bad. And he's all about his ego. In 2015, I lost respect for. I mean, I never really obviously didn't like him as a Georgia fan, but I lost the respect for him for not finishing out. It's not like he had a health scare or anything.
Right.
From my knowledge, it was just he just quit.
Yeah,
he just quit. So him just not finishing that 2015 year after Grayson Lambert body bagged him in Athens.
That's a funny sentence right there.
Well, it's true.
Yeah,
it's a factual statement.
Oh,
it's
yeah, he did.
Statement.
No, he did.
After that happened, man, he quit. So I imagine he's probably done quitting Gainesville this year.
Yeah,
doing whatever role he has up there. But I wanted him so bad to be on the sidelines in Jacksonville. That would have been great. But I will.
All right, lastly here we've got the Iron Bowl, number 10, Alabama at Auburn, 7:30 ABC. Adam, it has been since, 2003 since Auburn has had a night game for the Iron Bowl in Jordan-Hare Stadium. 2003, I want to say.
09 wasn't a night game?
Or maybe it was, 09 you're talking about.
That's the year old McElroy hit old Coffee. Guy went on to serve in the Army. Oh, what's his name? Glenn Coffee, running back, fullback type. I don't know.
Was this in Jordan-Hare?
I'm pretty sure it was in Jordan-Hare.
I don't know. Maybe it was 2000. I might be mistaken.
But hey, that might have been a 3:30, Clark, but because, it just happened at the end of the night. I remember that highlights. No,
it's either 09 or 03. I can't remember.
03. No, you're probably right. It's been 3:30 every year on CBS. You're right.
Regardless,
the
Auburn faithful, the Barners, they are juiced about this matchup because they really have nothing else to play for. This is their bowl game. And Adam, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think Auburn is going to upset Alabama in Jordan-Hare. Wilder things have happened. And, we all know this. Alabama never goes into Jordan-Hare Stadium and plays well.
No.
They sometimes get out with wins. Yes, they get out alive. But there's something about that stadium. Alabama just struggles. It doesn't matter if Nick Saban's on the sideline or Kalen DeBoer or Bear Bryant. Actually, I don't know. Bear Bryant might have.
Well, he didn't even want to play him there.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
I hate to say it like this, but he was no longer with us until the first time Alabama made the trip to Jordan-Hare in the late 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Right.
It really happened.
Yeah.
So, he had to play him in Birmingham every year. So, I remember Josh Pate said this on an episode he had a few weeks ago where he said that all this black magic voodoo talk with Jordan-Hare Stadium, that's just a myth. There's nothing to that. And, I like some of the stuff he says, but I wanted to just come through the fun. It's like, you weren't a Georgia fan in 2013 in that stadium.
Right.
And you never just have even the wins we've had. And we've had some convincing wins there, and then we've had some nail biters there. But there's just something about going to Jordan-Hare Stadium, man, that just makes you feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They
should use that as a soundbite right there for a hype video.
It does. I'm uncomfortable. I have a queasy feeling in my stomach, even though I know we're the better team and we usually win. Georgia's dominated Auburn, right? But Georgia's beat them there more than Alabama has here recently.
Mm-hmm.
So, the storylines of this game, real quick, Clark, is obviously Alabama's done if they lose this game.
Yeah.
Playoffs, everything, which I would love. So you have that storyline of then the DeBoer hype would just get crazy, potentially to the point, man, after what happened last year and then the season falling apart with 2 late losses that gets them out of the playoffs again for a second straight year in a 12-team playoff, that DeBoer might find the pressure enough that he goes to Penn State after they push him.
That, or I've heard a lot of rumors he might be going to the NFL.
He might.
I don't know.
Somewhere,
regardless,
leaving Tuscaloosa.
Right.
Just a guy who had not a real fit. Heck of a ball coach, obviously. Beating Kirby Smart, but heck of an X's and O's guy, I feel like. Ryan Grubb is too. So if they do lose, I do think there's a chance he leaves. He's not going to put up. It's just already especially if something like Lincoln Riley left to go somewhere and Southern Cal opened up. If USC opened up, he would be gone. And then that's another thing. Does Kiffin wait if DeBoer goes to Penn State or the NFL, wherever if he loses this game? Does Kiffin go to Alabama? Because I think he would crawl on his hands and his knees to Tuscaloosa. Kiffin would. And then also on the Auburn side, some people are saying they're going to get John Summerall, a guy who his wife went to Auburn. He coached at Troy, SEC guy. But then Summerall's kind of waiting. Maybe he goes to Oxford, Ole Miss if Lane leaves. So, it's the carousel, man. So, or though, if Auburn wins this game, they're riding the emotional high. They carry DJ Durkin off the field. Do they strip that? And there's a love affair in college football, successful interims, just stripping the tag off.
Right.
And making it permanent, right?
Yeah.
Especially if he wins, do they just go ahead and make DJ Durkin the guy? The players love him.
I would.
So
if I'm Auburn.
So I'm just saying, so I guess what I'm saying, not only is it just the historic rivalry with playoff implications, but honestly, I think both respective coaches on the sideline are coaching the biggest games of their career.
Wow.
Well, DeBoer coaching the national championships, and maybe not that, but his biggest game in Alabama by far. Yeah. And then DJ Durkin's biggest career of his life if he wants to get a job like Auburn. So I think you got to play that in a factor too. Heck of a storyline we have brewing in Opelika.
Yeah. I love how you say it's Opelika because Opelika's like it's like what 10 minutes down the road from Auburn.
Yeah,
it's not the Jordan-Hare Stadium's not in Opelika, nor is Auburn University. Auburn University is in Auburn, Alabama. I love how you always refer to it as Opelika, which, like I said, is like 10 mile markers down the road. It's just funny.
Yeah,
but I love it, Adam.
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah.
I've done it for years. Why stop?
You got to. Well, Larry Munson said a lot about Opelika, didn't he?
Yeah, the 96 game where we beat him in the first SEC overtime game, man. He wasn't going to make it to church that next morning. He said,
well, man. Adam, are you picking Alabama or picking Auburn?
I didn't make a pick.
No, you didn't.
Voodoo be danged. Clark.
Okay.
DeBoer and Alabama go in there and they win.
Wow.
Ty Simpson does just enough. But, heck, Auburn's got some momentum, man. It'd be interesting to see what quarterback they trot out there. Obviously, Alabama's better than Mercer, but they're talented freshmen. They put up some numbers last week. And Auburn's got a good defensive front with the Alabama offense that's not been clicking like they were when they came to Athens, right?
So you're telling me, all right. So we just got done with the picks. Awesome. But you're telling me Georgia is going to be rematching Alabama in the SEC championship. According to what you just picked, that's what you believe.
Yeah, bring it.
All right. Oh, man, I'd love that.
That would be, I don't even.
You think we had learned our lesson by now
man.
by saying we wish we want Alabama.
If we have Alabama in the SEC championship again, next week's going to just be fun times here at Row 60.
Oh, it
We're
will
going
be.
to be saying. It's going to be good. We're going to have a good therapy session on Row 60 next week.
No big game M&M. Wait a minute.
The big game M&M.
Hold up. Wait a second.
Game M&M. This is a huge game.
We're putting this episode on pause.
Okay.
Adam, just talk to them.
All right. So Clark's got to get the big game M&M out, and he's going to stay here for the rest of the year. There's nothing but big games the rest of the year. I meant to tell you that pre-show is that we needed to get the old red M&M up here, right? Yeah, replace the old cookie jar. But yeah. I'm setting up, and I'm thinking our best shot of being in Atlanta next week is a Texas win over A&M, Alabama beating Auburn, and we play Alabama again. Like I said, we will have a couple episodes, just time for all of us to just talk, work through some things as a Georgia fan base, and get to a good spot.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wow. I'd love that, honestly. I'd also love Georgia and A&M. I think that would be a tough matchup for us, but I think we could get it done. Either way, we'll see.
We're this close to playing Alabama again, the SEC championship. We got some stuff we got to take care of first. We got to get there first. But
yeah, first we got to take care of Georgia Tech this Friday, and we got some score predictions coming up in just a second. But, hey, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and comment what your score prediction is for Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Coming to the game this weekend, DM us on Instagram. We'd love to potentially meet up. We're going to be there I'll be getting there at least a little later in the day. So not going to do any tailgating, I don't think, but we'll be walking around and whatnot. So just DM us on Instagram. And we want to say here at Row 60, we want to wish everybody a happy
Thanksgiving, man. And enjoy it with your family, friends, and loved ones. One of my favorite holidays of the year. I absolutely love Thanksgiving. Eat and go ahead and just unbutton that and your belt and everything, unbuckle, lay on the couch, that top button, and let the old stomach out a little bit, and just kick back, relax, take a little nap, and watch the ball. Some NFL on Thursday, and then get ready for it on Friday. We do get Memphis and Navy Thursday night. I miss the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving night, but Memphis Navy Thursday night. Yeah, after you get done eating.
And save some room because we're going to be eating against Georgia Tech.
That's right. We're going to be feasting against Georgia Tech.
I love that. All right, we got number 4 Georgia versus number 23 Georgia Tech, 3:30 ABC in the Benz. Woo! Georgia right now is favored by 13.5, almost 2 touchdowns. I kind of like that, Adam. I got to be honest with you. I think that's a good, healthy spread. Georgia hasn't lost to Georgia Tech in the city of Atlanta this century.
That's right.
This millennium.
Yeah, this millennium.
I love saying that, even though it's been 25 years into the millennium.
We're a quarter of the way through it.
No, we're not.
We're about to be a quarter of the way through
in a millennium? You mean a century?
Yeah, in a century.
Yeah, a millennium is 1,000 years.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying, in a century.
Yes.
A century, 100 years.
Right.
Not the millennium, yeah. We're not gonna be around to see that.
No, we
I wouldn't want to be.
Me neither.
Yeah.
The way we're headed right now.
I want to be, but yes, correct.
Anyway, Adam, I think we secure a first-round bye regardless of the SEC championship game.
Really? Yeah. We'll debate that at a later show, but I think absolutely there's a chance. Go ahead.
No, not if we lose this game. I'm saying we win this game, we secure a first-round bye.
That's what I'm saying.
Regardless of the SEC championship. Oh, okay. You got something else?
We'll talk about that.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going Dogs 41-24. Give me that all day long. I think Georgia Tech will get theirs on the ground. They're going to score some points, but Georgia is just too much, and so is this offense and Gunnar Stockton, Mike Bobo, and everybody.
There we go. I love it, man. Yeah, no reason, Clark, for this Georgia team to lose this, man. All the momentum we're playing with right now, especially love how Saturday played out. Georgia got a good win against Charlotte, got some guys some rest, ended early. Georgia Tech had a emotional just let down and heartbreak in a huge conference game against Pitt that went into the late hours of last Saturday night, and then you got to turn around and play another game in 6 days. So I like that. Love where we're at, just where the talent is. There's no doubt Buster Faulkner is going to have some, and Haynes King are going to have some stuff drawn up. They're going to get theirs a couple times, man, but I don't think they're going to consistently do it, and Haynes King will not have the day on the ground that he did last year in Athens. I think this offense, there's no doubt, just looking at it on paper, there's no reason why this Georgia offense shouldn't roll, but we don't play it on paper, especially rivalry football games, man. But give me Georgia win this football game, 38-17 in the Benz, cap off another 11-1 season. Then we sit back and wait and see if we'll be in Atlanta again in the Benz the following week. It doesn't get any better than this. We have reached that special time of the year where it's going to be chaos, coaching carousels, man, postseason predictions, and another Georgia national championship run. We're in that position, man. It can't get any better. But first, Let's beat Tech. Always good to beat Tech. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll be with y'all posting live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta for clean, old-fashioned hate. Georgia is going to win. We love y'all. Go Dogs!
Go Dogs.
Baby.